Hey, you guys. I gotta get something off my chest, right? I found out some disturbing news today and I am so disappointed. And I know I can't be the only small content creator feeling this way. I have been working on my YouTube channel consistently for about 2 years or so, right? Trying to reach that 4,000 watch hour requirement for monetization. 2 years, okay? I've celebrated every subscriber that I've gotten. I've watched my channel grow. I've tried different thumbnails. I've changed titles, studied my analytics. I made my shorts, made my long forms, right? And I kept creating, even when the videos I worked so hard on barely got any views, right? And through it all, I kept telling myself, just keep going. It's worth it. You're going to get those 4,000 watch hours. And every day I show up. And now I'm hearing that beginning in February of 2027, the requirement is going from 4,000 watch hours to 8,000 watch hours. And let me tell you, I'm not going to lie, I was heated because I'm so close to reaching it, right? Because when you've been working towards something for so long and you start to feel like you're getting close. You're so close to the finish line, right? And you just keep asking yourself, is this worth it? And I know somebody watching this might be like, oh, it's just YouTube. But for me, it's not just YouTube, right? YouTube has become part of my life. I'm telling you. Let me just give you a little backstory on what content creating actually looks like for me, right? I get up at 3 o'clock every morning to go to work. My commute is roughly about 2 hours total daily to get back and forth to work. So that usually gives me about 5 hours to work with because I'm in bed 8:39, right? So in those 5 hours, I gotta cook, clean, because I know my bathroom be a mess with makeup in the morning, right? Get ready for work, kind of look at my content, create shorts, right? Try to catch up on my TV drama, which is kind of get a little bit of rest time, right? And then prepare for the next day. Getting my clothes out, doing my skincare, right? I don't have a lot of time during the week. So usually long form I create it on the weekend, right? So there is so much to go into getting ready to upload my videos, editing and thumbnails and descriptions and all that jazz. I put a lot of time in, and I try to put out, well, I don't try. I do my best to put out quality work. I try to respond to every comment. If I haven't responded, I ain't see it. I'm like faithful to my subscribers. I respond, right? I check my analytics to make sure that I am getting closer. Look at the reels, look at all the stuff to say, okay, what do I need to create next to get closer to my goal? And somehow I fit all that into my life. And why? Because I love this. I love being a content creator. This isn't something I'm casually doing when I have nothing else to do, right? I am truly invested in my brand. And I can't imagine my life. I can't imagine what my life would be like if I didn't have YouTube. And why? Because I truly believe YouTube kind of saved me a little bit, right? So after I had COVID, I was stuck in the house 5 months. Didn't have no family, no friends around to support me. I had to do everything on my own. I was so lonely. Couldn't do anything. I could barely breathe. I only had 50% lung capacity, right? So I couldn't do much. I was stuck in the bed most of the time. So YouTube actually became my outlet. It gave me something to look forward to. So I watched all kinds of influencers. My favorite, Maya Galore, she did makeup tutorials, and I became obsessed. And I decided, I can do that. Why can't I start a YouTube channel, right? Something to take my mind off being alone, something that I can build a community with, right? And during that time, I walked away from a friendship of 35 years. So it gave me a way to connect with people, right? When I was spending so much time alone. And I truly believe God gave me this vision because I don't feel like I'm a creator or have the creative gene, right? I'm more in finance. But God gave it to me. So that's why I'm so invested into it. I don't think there's a day that goes by that I don't think about YouTube. Like, that's all I talk about. I'm constantly on my phone looking at my analytics, looking at other creators, watching other creators' videos, coming up with ways to improve, like really strategizing on how I can get to my goal. You know, I ask myself all the time, what can I do to be better? I've gotten all the tools that I need, the ring lights, you know, different cameras, which I don't know how to use half of them, but I've invested into this. I see something bigger for my life, right? I really want to become a full-time content creator, influencer. That's my goal, right? I see myself building a community. I love inspiring other women, sharing my knowledge, helping someone, right? I see myself working with big brands, you know? I see myself just sharing my journey because I've had a journey, right? Especially encouraging other women because I have been through so much in my life and I have a lot to share to help someone else. You know, I love talking about my health and wellness journey, right? I love sharing my beauty tips because I am learning how to beautify myself, right? And I want to share that with other women. I love talking about my grief journey, the healing, right? And what it looks like to create a beautiful life after 50. I can see this for myself. And so when I heard that the requirement was changing from 4,000 to 8,000, I was practically in tears, right? Because I've sacrificed so much to see this dream come to pass. I have prayed on it. I talk to God about it all the time. And he always put things in my path when I need something, right? I work on my brain even when I am exhausted. And not a day goes by that I am not talking about my channel. I know people get tired of hearing me because that's all my conversation is my brand, is YouTube, is me getting excited, you know, talking to my subscribers, right? Kept pushing myself even when the views aren't there. So yeah, I'm very disappointed. I'm frustrated, right? I feel like I'm so close, and then YouTube is just dangling it. That's how I feel. I'm just being completely transparent. But let me tell you something about me. I am not a quitter. So after I have my whole 10-minute moment, because I definitely had my moment, right? I thought about everything. I thought about everything that I have put into this, invested, and I said, Sherry, you have come too far to stop now. I am building a community, right? I have grown this channel, sweat and tears, with no experience, on my own, with no help from nobody. I found my voice. I found my joy and my peace, right? And I finally discovered what I want my brand to represent. And I'm proud of what I created. And so now I'm not giving up. And so I'm not looking at this and saying, well, I guess it's over, right? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And you should be saying that too. What I'm saying is, okay, the goalposts have moved. Now, what are we going to do? What am I going to do? Because I'm still going after my goal. I'm still going to keep creating. I'm still going to continue learning. I'm still going to keep pushing myself as hard as I can. I'm still going to work on improving myself. I'm still going to be I'm going to be even more intentional about my content, about the content that I put on this channel. Because I believe there's something on the other side of all this work. And I refuse to stop before I get there. It could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be 10 years from now. But I don't want this conversation to only be about me, right? I know there are other small content creators out there who have been grinding just as hard as I have. I know you're probably sitting there at 1,500, 2,000 watch hours, or maybe even 3,500, and you can see the 4,000 finish line. I know you're thinking, like, what the? Seriously? Right? Seriously, YouTube? Now you want us to get to 8,000? For my other small content creators, I want to hear from you. Talk to me. How do you feel about this? How long have you been working towards your goal? I know you're frustrated just like I am. Right? How close are you to getting there? Do you think about quitting? I hope not. I hope that you're going to still grind just like I'm going to still grind. I hope you're going to keep fighting to the end. Right? Maybe more so now, we as small content creators need to really step up and support each other even more. Continue to watch each other's videos. Maybe build a community where we come on and we talk to each other and we strategize to help each other get to that goal. Leave meaningful comments on each other's videos, right? To get that interaction going. Sharing each other's content. Telling somebody about our channels, right? Doing anything that we can to support each other, to help each other get to that threshold. Right? Encourage somebody when they're getting low views, because I know I get low views all the time and I be in my feelings. So I welcome the encouragement, right? We need to keep going. right? Let's stop feeling like we're all competing at the same table, for the same table. Because there's room for all of us, right? There is room for each and every one of us. But this is so much bigger than monetization. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that that doesn't matter, because yes, it does. I want to be monetized. Absolutely. I have worked so hard for it, and I will continue to work hard for it. But I see myself as a full-time influencer. I do. I'm speaking into existence, right? So the way I see it is, I feel like YouTube has given me so much more than $1, right? It has given me an outlet in one of the hardest periods of my life. It gave me a platform to heal while I was going through grief. It gave me a community. It gave me a platform to make me feel beautiful as I'm learning how to do my makeup. It gave me a place to share my story and my trials and tribulations that I have been through, right? It's given me a vision of what my next chapter of my life could look like. So I'm not walking away because this road is getting harder. I know exactly where the journey is going to take me, and I am going to continue working harder than I ever did. But I always feel like if this is meant for me, it will be, right? If God gave it to me, then this is something that's bigger than me. So I'm not going to sit here and boo-hoo and get in my feelings, even though I already got my feelings, right? I'm just going to keep showing up, keep doing my beauty videos, keep talking about grief and healing, keep dancing, right? I'm going to keep showing women that life doesn't stop at 50. I'm going to keep pressing the record button, right? Because when God gives you a vision, it is so, right? So yes, I'm heated. I'm disappointed, and rightfully so. But I wasn't built to quit. Failure is not an option. So, if you're another small content creator that is watching this, what I can say to you is don't quit either. Let's figure this out together, right? So drop your channel in the comments so I can, if I'm not already following you, that I can follow you and support you. Tell me what kind of content that you create, right? How close are you to monetization? Are you right there? Do you have a ways to go? Let's just start finding let's just start genuinely supporting each other, right? Because if this goalpost moved, I guess we're just going to have to keep running. Until the next video, it's your girl, Sherry. Deuces.